his welcome address.
Professor, may I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Please continue.
Okay. Good morning to one and all gathered here. First of all, I would like to thank our management for granting permission to conduct this seminar on research matrices measuring your research impact. I would like to welcome our Secretary, Mr. K.S. Kasi Prabhu, and Joint Secretary, Mr. K. Rajkumar sir, for this seminar. I would like to welcome our eminent person, Principal Dr. C. Madalai Sundaram sir, for this grand success webinar. Next, I would like to welcome our Vice Principal, Madhavan sir, Placement Coordinator, Dr. C. Karthikeyan sir, for this seminar. I would like to, with warm hands, I would like to welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. G.Murali, Professor, Research Progressions and Assessment Chair,
Sir, who is that guy whom you told?
KL University.
Oh, okay,
Next, I would like to welcome our Head of the Department, Mr. A. Vembadrajis, for this great occasion. I would like to welcome various faculties, internal and external participants
Not for Kavita,
for this great success of the seminar. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vendimal Rajan, for your good welcome address. Now I invite Dr. P. Radhakrishnan for introducing our chief guest.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. G.Murali. Dr. G.Murali is a professor with a 21-year experience in academic and research experiences. And he also is one of the alumni in the National Institute of Technology at Tiruchirappalli. He also completed his Ph.D. in Andha University. And sir was already published as more than 56 journals in a reputed publishing, as 18 journals in AC Index and 43 in a Scopus Index journals. He is also a lifetime member in various societies like IST and IA. He also acting as editorial and review board members in reputed journals like Springer and SCA, Springer and Elsevier like that. And he is one of the approved supervisor in Koneru Lakshmi Education University. He is also received Quality Researcher Award and 2018, and also the Best Research Award in 2020. He is also one of the board of study members in mechanical engineering at KL University. And recently, he was selected for the visiting faculty position in Pune University in USC. Thank you, sir. Once again, welcome you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Radhakrishnan. Now, the session is handed over to the person, Dr. G.Murali. Sir, kindly take over session, sir.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, sir, you are audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Radhakrishnan, for brief introduction about my profile. And I will share my screen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, is my screen is visible?
Yeah, visible, sir.
It is loading.
Kindly put it in slideshow. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sir, good morning, one and all here. First of all, I would like to congratulate the principal, management, and principal of the institution, and as well as the head of the department who is organizing this kind of events. Because these kind of events will increase the perception of any institutions. So nowadays, small institutions also concentrating on research. Even good number of publication comes from young people from small colleges and small institutions. So drastically, the researchers have been increased so that these kind of programs are necessary to increase the perception of institution. So once again, I congratulate the management, principal, and the head of the department, mechanical engineering, to organize this event. So today's session, research metrics, measuring your research impact. So I given a presentation in a few colleges in the same topics. That means I am not a specialist in this area, because there are a lot of open sources available. So I collected the informations, the few information I want to discuss with you all in today's session. So I welcome you all to the session. I will start with the proverb. This is my favorite proverb. I think it may be visible very well. Love learning and you shall be learned. Love learning and you shall be learned. Any person, if he is keen on learning, he will be extended into the any kind of altitude. So I connect this proverb to the research, because research is also continuous learning. So when you involve in research, that will make you to popular, and that may, and also it will take into certain extent in your life. How I improve my research skills? How I improve my research skills? The question, if you try to answer this question, maybe at the end of the session, because we are seeing one very the professor is searching for citations, and another picture, person is doing his research very happily. So to answer, maybe after the session, you may have the answer for this question. I'll go to the next slide. So before that, let me have a small introduction about this research metrics and data. At present, the research is going on in all over the world, practically in all subjects, generating millions of. Excuse me, somebody has to mute. Hello, sir. Yeah, thank you. Am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
You are audible, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Thank you, sir. So at present, research is going on all over the world in all the subjects. A million of research articles and other documents. For example, 1 million of research are doing 2 million of researches per year itself. In some cases, the research are then generating very good results. In most cases, mediocre, and some cases negative results. So basing research results, awards, fellowships, promotions, selection for a job, etc. are decided. For these, evaluation of research output becomes significant. So research metrics are significant, but all research metrics are, whether it is genuine or behind that any issues are there, we need to evaluate, because all research metrics will not be genuine. But research metrics become popular one way or another way. It is unavoidable nowadays. So measuring productivity in science. Option 1, number of papers published. Number of papers published. Option 2, attempt to measure the quality. So option 1, these metrics emphasize quantity. What if most papers are not important, whether it influences the research or not. But option 2, attempt to measure the quality. The paper, whether the paper has been cited by others. That means any paper, any research article, it has to influence the other research. That means the paper have quality. So that indicates the quality of the paper. So which option we have to go? The answer is citations. So citation is good recognition for any quality papers. But nowadays people are going for more kind of self-citations. We need to go for, that means it should be cited by others automatically, cross citations. But instead of people are, if one person preparing a paper, in that more than 50% this paper might be cited, is not good. Because nowadays there are several metrics has been progressed to find out your self-evaluation. For example, if you go to Web of Science, immediately it will display how many number of self-citation do you have. So immediately people will, nowadays the institutions are not counting self-citations for promotions or funding for research incentive, all these things. Only they consider cross citation. So if the paper is relevant, then you please cite your papers. Even though it is self-citation, it should be relevant to the research. So what my thing is, the citations are fee paid through transfer of sum of attention earned by citing author and cited author. So it is a deal between citing and cited author. Anyway, citations will give the it will give quality for any kind of article. Why do we evaluate scientific output? Why to quantify the scientific output of a researcher or an academician? To get to get published in a good journal. Yes, the foremost thing, many are doing PhDs nowadays. In India, a lot of people are doing PhD, a lot of people are involving in research. There are foremost aim to get to get better. They should get published in a good paper. Other than that, grant allocations, so to get funding allocations, policy decisions, benchmarking, to benchmark the other institutes, we need to evaluate promotion policies, funding allocations, research, hiring, marking the right investment to measure individual. So all these things, we need to evaluate the scientific output. So research metrics to quantify the research output. I'll go to the next slide. The application of mathematics and the statistical methods to assess science and information process. So the application of mathematics, research metrics or bibliometrics are nothing but the application of mathematics and statistical method to assess the science as an informational process. The next thing, today almost these are all the content in my today's presentation. I will try to cover citation databases and research metrics, the steps to organizing your manuscript. That maybe will be giving in the next session. Citation databases, there are many number of citation databases has been introduced right from 1960s. After that, the 3 citation databases are getting popularized because of their user friendly to the end users. So Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar. These are the 3 popular databases we are going to discuss about today. Next, research metrics. There are several research metrics are there. In that, popular research metrics such as impact factor, H index, other types of indexing, all I am going to discuss with you. Research metrics, there are several types of kind of research metrics: journal metrics, author metrics, article metrics, alter metrics, institution metrics. Like many metrics have been came out. Let us go to the next slide. Citation databases. So, periodically, right from 1960s, Google Scholar, Dimension, Scopus, Web of Science, Microsoft Academic, Lens.org, these are many databases to find out the citations of papers, journals have been introduced. Citation databases are databases that have been developed for evaluating the publications. Right? The citation databases enable you to count the citations and check, for example, which article, which journals are most cited ones. So these kind of analysis that citation databases are doing. So you can also list the articles citing in the same source. I'll go to the next slide. See, these are all the list of databases available. In 1964, Science Citation Index, it was owned by Thomson Reuters actually, but when it was introduced, it was with a multimedia company. In the head office is Toronto. In 1960, it was started. It was started by Eugene Garfield. Anyway, that history I will tell you in the forthcoming slides. Then Social Science Citation Index, Arts and Humanity Citation Index. These are all owned by Thomson Reuters. Right now, it is transferred to Clarivate Analytics. So Clarivate Analytics is a company taking care of all kind of Web of Science core collections. So next, Scopus. So very quickly popularized. It was introduced in 2004. Very quickly it is popularized. So it is also subscription based database. So Google Scholar, it is freely available in online. It was introduced in 2004. It was very familiar for its I-10 index. And Microsoft Academic Search, most of us are unaware of this. It was introduced by a Microsoft organization. And after that, CiteSeer's Indian Citation Index. One more thing, for assessing local, inside country, what are all the types of publications and citations, those things were analyzed by Indian Citation Index. In that also several type of core collections available, only for the reference of local journals. Most probably medical journals are available in this. So I will go to the next slide. Citation database, I told you already, most important citation databases are Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar, that we will see one by one. Web of Science is mostly the research evaluation, why it has been done, actually to find out the researcher in productivity, visibility, reputation and impact. So Web of Science, previously it is known as Web of Knowledge. It's a website that provides subscription-based access. Multiple databases provide comprehensive citation data for more different academic disciplines. Actually, it was originally produced by Institute for Scientific Information. That is ISI. It is also a part of that is now owned by Clarivate Analytics. Previously, it is the intellectual property and science business of Thomson Reuters. I'll go to the next slide. The Institute for Scientific Information. This is the authorized institution for producing SCI papers. That means they produce highly respected citation databases in all major subjects like SCI, SSCI, and that is Arts and Humanity citation indexes. ISI produced them in printed format. Many we have doubt about SCI. What is SCI? What is SCIE? So SCI is nothing but the core collection which are maintaining by means of hard copies. If the same thing is stored in CD formats, compact disk formats, that is called SCIE, Science Citation Index Expander. Many are confusing, many institutions also confusing, and we need papers only in SCIE or SCI. Both are same, only the storage is different. Because of technological advancement, nowadays it is stored in electronic way. So in citation index, works cited during given year are listed alphabetically. So like that. I'll go to the next slide. One minute, excuse me. So the Institute for Scientific Information. So what is SCI? It is nothing but Institute for Scientific Information. It was founded by Eugene Garfield. He was an informational scientist. He proposed citation indices in 1955 itself. After that, in 1960, he released the journal Impact Factor. So, in this Impact Factor is released by Institute for Scientific Information. Nowadays, it is coming. It is released by JCR, Journal Impact Factor, right? Journal citation reports. So we can find the impact factor of all types of journals. So journals, Institute for Scientific Information in 1962, they released the journal citation reports that covers all type of this. Then the same company started Web of Science or Web of Knowledge. Then it was purchased by 1992. The Institute for Scientific Information was purchased by Thomson Reuters. It was an intellectual property and science business organization. After that, from Thomson Reuters, it was purchased in 2015. It was purchased by Clarivate Analytics. So now Clarivate Analytics made a lot of changes. Now, before it was available as free. Now everything they changed into subscription based. So the Web of Science also now it's not free of cost. We need subscription for that. So Clarivate. So just want to tell you about Clarivate. Clarivate is a company formed in 2016 following the acquisition of Thomson Reuters. And formally it is an intellectual property and science division of Thomson Reuters. It consists of following indexing, following collections. Science Citation Index collected papers, SCI. Then social, SCI, SCIE both are same. And Social Science Citation Index, Arts and Humanities Citation Index, Emerging Source Citation Index. Very recently, many of us started publishing papers in Emerging Source ESCA papers. So that is also another the next quality papers collections are there in the ESCA collections. Then CPCI, Conference Proceeding Citation Index. This is also will be visible in Web of Science. Next, the Book Citation Index. If books also cited in Web of Science collections. So the product of Web of Science, Science Citation Index expanded, Social Sciences Citation Index, Arts and Humanities Citation Index, Book Citation, CPCA, Conference Proceeding Citation Index. For example, if your paper is published in any type of AIP or IOP conference or material study proceedings, that will be indexed in under Conference Proceeding Citation Index in Web of Science core collections. SCI paper also indexed under SCI, SCIE, or if the paper is published in Social Sciences, then SSCI, under SSCI it will be indexed. So these are all the year of coverage and title of coverage, all these things. Anyway, I am not going to concentrate the number of volumes available, all these things. Anyway, I think you may be aware of this. You may get the information from the websites. These are the same information about SCIE, SSCI, Arts and Humanities, all these things. Just I am skipping the slides. And one more I want to say, current chemical reactions and index chemicals. This is also belongs to Web of Science core collection. Actually, if you have the chemical formula of chemicals, all these things can be structures of structures and compounds of elements that can be owned by stored in the Web of Science core collections. So before long back, we don't have any storing medium because once paper is released, suddenly in the same area there are several papers will be released, so that we are unable to read the original article because within the short period of time, the number of articles will be published in the similar area, so that there is a chance of unable to read the first paper. So now, due to these all core collections, we cannot able to miss any papers because of citation, all these things. Any good quality paper will be popularized automatically. Web of Science, there are a lot of products can be launched by Web of Science. If you go to Web of Science website, you can see all these things, all these products. EndNote, Insight, Journal Citation Reports, Essential Science Indicators, Scholar One, Tablons, Converies, EndNote Click. EndNote is nothing but it is a reference management tool. Insight, web-based benchmarking tool for the institutions. Journal citation reports will have the impact factor for all SCA journals in that Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Many people have nowadays another scenario started. Institutions are asking only Q1 journal, Q2 journal for the ranking purpose or a NAC purpose, MBA purpose. Q1, Q2, but there is no clarity about what is Q1, what is Q2, who are all doing all this. Actually, there are two types of ranking. One is journal citation report, and another one is SIMOGA journal ranking. SIMOGA journal ranking is done by Elsevier. Journal citation report done by Institute for Scientific Information, that is Clarivate. So both are producing papers, the ranking Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 like that. So in that, suppose if the papers having 1,000 papers are there, for example, in that 25%, first 25% will be ranked as Q1 journal, second 25 ranked as Q2 journal, third 25% are ranked as based on impact factor. Based on impact factor, Q3 and Q4. The final 25% will be Q4. This is available in JCR as well as SJR. SJR means SIMOGA journal rank. Both available, but there will be some difference. Will be different, but the institutions are considering mostly the SIMOGA journal ranking because JCR is very difficult to publish publications. Almost all are tough publications. Little bit some relaxed publications are available in SJR, so that any Q1, Q2 journal can be considered. Essential science indicators will list out the emerging scientist, emerging collaborator, emerging people like that can segregate the high top researcher and top research areas. The top publication can be listed out by essential science indicator of Web of Science product. Scholar One, it is nothing but it acts as a window between. It is a it is a barrier. It is a screen which interconnect both reviewers as well as editors. So because this platform used for uploading papers, so when we upload, automatically it goes to the reviewers. So authors, reviewers, as well as editors. So Scholar One is the interface for all the three. So it acts as the interface. So it can connect authors, reviewers, and editors. Author can submit the paper, reviewer can review the paper, editor can edit and publish the papers. So one platform is used for that. That is Scholar One. Publons. Publons is nothing but public profile of Web of Science. In Web of Science also you may have the same profile. If you go to public, anybody can see the profile. The same profile can be viewed by Publons. That is called Publons. Then Converies and EndNote. Convery is nothing but it is used for downloading many research paper in the PDF format. EndNote Click also, formerly it is called as Copernio. It is also used for a reference management purpose. So it is also a web-based reference management tool and manage the references. Because previously we find a lot of difficulty in managing the references. Nowadays a lot of tools are there. For example, if you go to Google Scholar, immediately you can find different types of formats like AP, American Psychological Association format, or Chicago line of style. So all the types of references we may be able to copy and paste immediately. Now you are seeing a window when you open Web of Science. It is suppose if your institute have the subscription, you can open and see Web of Science platform. This is the first page of Web of Science platform. It consists of master journalist. Master journalist is available of free. In that, some products are subscription based. Master journalist, you can find whether SCA, ESCA, or which type of indexing it is. Any journal, you can able to find the indexing. And Publons, Insights, Journal Citation Report, Essential Sites Indicators, EndNote, EndNote. So these are all the products of Web Science, and you can see the window like Documents and Researcher. So when you click Researcher, here you can click the Researcher. See here it is there. So see here. I'm highlighting with yellow colors. See, if you click Researcher, automatically it goes to the window. There you can type your first name and last name. I'll go to the next slide. Here, just I typed my name. Here, I'm highlighting my name and my first name and last name. Automatically, you will get all the credentials, research credentials. Just when I type my name, what will happen? We'll see in the next slide. So I am getting all my credentials, my metrics, publication metrics, my H index, my publications in Web of Science. Because Scopus and Web of Science publications will differ. The indexing also different, right? So it looks like that. You can also verify your also in how many institutions you work with, how many publications belongs to, and also you can find many things. You can find for each paper, right from, suppose if you are publishing from 2012, right from 2012, each paper have how many citations. So like you can able to find all the things. So I'll go to the next slide. See here, there is the option all. If you click here, if you select, you will get all the types of indexing. Science Citation Index Expanded, Conference Proceedings and CPCI, Social Science, Emerging ESCA. So all types of core collections. So you can search any type of papers here. I'll go to the next slide. You can add multiple number of search boxes also like this. Actually, this is old type of Web of Science web page. In recently also similar type of things are coming. Also here we have years. Here we find some years, time span. Depends upon the time span, and also you can able to find the articles. See here all last year. So this is last year, last 4 years, last 2 years, last 3 years like that. So I am just accessing through my institution. So if your institution have access, you can able to access the Web of Science code collection. Next, I'm going to Scopus. Scopus is nothing but it is one of the popular data database. So it positioning that means it is alternative to ISI, that is Institute for Scientific Information. So we are talking about SCA papers. Suddenly the Scopus introduced in 2004 and get popularized. People are all talking about the Scopus papers like that. So nowadays they removed all type of paid journals from Scopus. So Scopus also become good priority. But till there is a business behind these kind of metrics. Anyway, that will be there. But research metrics is unavoidable. So the source data back to 1960 from excellent for physical and biological sciences, and it is poor for social sciences. Like it has some own disadvantages and advantages. I'll go to the next slide. So what is Scopus? So Scopus is one of the largest abstracting and indexing citation database. So it consists of following number of literatures. So more than 15,200 titles, from more than 4,000. Actually, it is increased. These details are old details. Now if you see, all the details are millions. So now you can able to see patterns also. Patterns also cited in Scopus. Papers also cited, and some other. Suppose your papers are not indexed, but somewhere it is indexed. That list also will be available. By seeing that, you can add your papers. The next Scopus coverage. 5,900 life and health core collections are available. 4,500 chemistry, physics, engineering. Now it is increased. It was old data. Anyway, I am presenting for your reference. 2,500 biological, agriculture, environmental, and then 2,700 social science, psychology, economics, all these things. It's a more comprehensive way of evaluating an author. Using author search, Scopus give us 3 types of histograms. H-index graph is very popular. Number of papers per year, number of authors, number of citations per year. Because by seeing that, many universities now they are giving promotions, giving incentives, and policies they are making. So they are assessing the faculty by means of Scopus metrics. See, these are the 3 popular graphs, histograms in Scopus: number of articles, number of citations, H-index graph. Next, if you go for a search for author profile, this is the first page of Scopus. Here, one more thing I want to tell you. Here there is a red, the Scopus in orange color. So if it is there, you have access. Suppose if you are a reviewer, you may get full access for the Scopus database. But in case Scopus preview, like if it is there, you can able to see only recent 10 papers of your publications. But if this orange color is there, you can able to view the entire your entire publications. Suppose if you have publications right from 2010, all types of, if you have 40 publications, all 40 publications will be visible when you have the access. This orange color will show the access, that indicates it's full access. If you don't have full access, there nearby you will see preview like that, Scopus preview. Anyway, I opened the author profile. I just kept my name again, just to know the metrics from what is Scopus. See here, when you type, I am getting even I am getting 37 documents and 251 citations. H-index 10. The same H-index is different. There it is 9 in above science. Here it is 10. So little bit difference will be there in the assessment. So you can see the number of documents, citations, and the most contributed topics. All these things. You can interconnect you can link your ORCID ID also. Right. ORCID, another things are there. How to popularize your research by means of ORCID ID, by means of researcher ID, boot ID. There are different IDs are there that I will tell you in the forthcoming slides. So if you have ORCID ID means everybody knows, I think. Hope everybody knows. Open Researcher Contributor, the contribution ID, that you can link here. So whatever the publications are there, that will be linked here. I will go to the next slide. If you are able to access Scopus database, see here, you can able to see the documents. All the documents will be visible. And if you click the secondary documents which maybe belongs to you or may not be, you can check all the secondary documents. If it is belongs to you, you can add. That indicates secondary documents. Patterns. Nowadays, patterns also indexed in Scopus database. And one more thing, analyze research results. If you click this, If you click analyze search results, immediately I will go to next slide. This will come. This means this already this histogram is available in the page. This one and another these documents, this kind of graph will see what these graphs are indicates document per year by source, documents by author, documents by affiliation. Suppose when you are working in different colleges, how many affiliation, and documents by subject area, and documents by type. Type sometimes the article might be retracted, article might be indexed here. So like it depends upon the type of document that pie chart will give the information. Documents by country. Suppose any collaborative researchers are there with you, that also will be indicated in this document by country. See, I collaborated with one author from Iran, I keep one person from South Africa. So these all blue color indicates. So your collaboration will be visible, your affiliation will be visible, your types of documents will be visible, and your document subject areas also visible. So all your co-authors also will be visible here. From purpose, this kind of information you can get. I'll go to the next slide. And next is Google Scholar. It's a wonderful open, free of cost database. Google Scholar was launched in 2004 by Google Corporation. So it appears to be one of the largest indexing and citation database, peer review, scholarly literature. It is mostly very much popularized for its item index. I'll go to the next slide. Google Scholar, it have better coverage for whole citations as it retrieval. So more coverage of references also, gray literature. Nowadays you can do reference management by means of this, and some disadvantage also there. It has very limited search options, but nowadays they are also updating, and by seeing other databases, they are incorporating all the things. So see, any database, it has its own advantage and disadvantage. Accordingly, we can utilize. I'll go to the next slide. So search features. What all the features are there in Google Scholar? You can search scholarly literature from one convenient place, and you can explore related works, citations, authors, publications. And you can keep up the recent developments in the area of research. Check who's citing your publication. Create, as usual, all the citation, all these things will be available here. See, this is the, I hope everybody knows about this. Anyhow, I will show the page. This is the first page of Google Scholar. And when you go for search options, that will be visible like that. You can search by name, affiliation, email, verification, all these things. See, this is my Google Scholar page. Here the total citations for 445, H-index 12. Comparatively, the H-index is mostly high in case of Google Scholar. Nowadays, many institutions are not considering Google Scholar. They are only talking about Scopus. Since the committee and people are also asking like that, but there is nothing standard like that. Any metrics, any one metrics is sufficient to evaluate the scientific output of the team. Because each and everyone has its own concepts. I'll go to the next slide. Now we come to the end of databases. All three databases we have seen. Anyway, still we have Indian Citation Index and Microsoft Research Academy and other some kind of databases. In other session, I will discuss about all other databases. Now I am going to discuss about research metrics. Why these research metrics? I already told you. The reputation of researcher, impact of researcher, productivity of researcher, and visibility of the researcher. For all these things, research metrics are important. There are many types of research metrics. To assess journals, these journal metrics; to assess authors, author metrics; to assess about all different articles, article metrics. Altimetrics, other than these metrics, we have social medias like Facebook or other Twitter. In these kind of things also we can get by seeing that we can analyze metrics. We can analyze our publication. So those kind of things are called altimetrics. Alternative metrics to these metrics. Institution metrics will rank the institution research benchmarking things. I'll go to the next slide. There are here I listed two types of research metrics. One is author impact. One is used for author impact. Other list is used for journal impacts. For author impacts, H index, G index, M index, item index, scopus. Journal impact factor. SJR, Simogo Journal Ranking, Eigen Factor, Scopus, SNP. SNP is nothing but Source Normalized Impact Factor. Strip Index. So the author impact, I'm going to concentrate author impact for today's session. You might have heard about all these things. Anyway, once again we'll discuss about H index. What is G index? Because some kind of indexing is not getting popularized, but it's all very good. It can cover all the publications published by the author. Something very good. Again, impact factor. Impact factor also owned by Institute for Scientific Information. It belongs to SCA family. So it is same information again. I don't want to explain again. The SCE started in 1960. After that, they released impact factor by means of journal citation reports, JCR. So in that they calculated impact factor and listed now they are ranking Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 journals in JCR. Depends upon the impact factor. So citation indexes for science. This is by using Garfield. Citation indexes for science, a new dimension in documentation through association of ideas. So using Garfield in 1955, he started with a new dimension to make citations of researchers. Because all researchers we cannot able to say is correct, but when research influences other research, that is what mentioned by using Garfield. Citation analysis is a tool in a journal evaluation. So these proverbs released in 1960. Definition of impact factor. Everybody knows, I think. It is a cytometric index actually that reflects the yearly average number of citations that articles published in the last 2 years. For calculating, it is impact factors are calculated yearly starting from 1975 for journals listed in journal citation reports. So in journal impact factor is average number of times articles from the journal published in the past 2 years have been cited in JCRA. Okay, I don't want to confuse with all these lines. Just for calculating impact factor, at least a journal has to cross 2 years of publications. After 2 years, that journal is eligible to calculate impact factor. I will tell you with the example how to calculate. If impact factor for year X, in the year X, suppose if I am calculating in 2021, then previous 2 years, how much citations? The number of citations to the journal X in past 2 years. Past 2 years, what are the citations and how many number of publications in past 2 years? The citable items are nothing but the total publication published by the journal in past 2 years. So that will give you the impact factor. For example, here 2012 is the assessment year. In 2010 and 11, 2010 320 citations, 2011 225 citations, total 545. The number of publications in 2011 38, 2010 38, 2011 73. So total 111. So 2012 impact factor is 4.91. 545 by 111. 4.91 is the impact factor. Nothing but number of citations divided by total number of publications in past 2 years. So it is calculating only for 2 years. So visibly, graphically, I can able to explain. See here, there are 2008 we are going for calculation. 2017, what are the publication citations? 2016, what are the publication citations? So that will be come as numerator. The total number of publications in red color, 2016 and 2017. So 2016-17 citations, 2016-17 publications will give the impact factor for the calculation of 280. I think you might have understood what is meant by impact factor. So see here, this is also same calculation. Impact factor for 1 year, year minus 1, year minus 2, divided by publication year minus 1, year minus 2. In the previous 2 years publications, citations divided by previous 2 year publications will give you the 41 impact factor. Actually, medical journal have more number of impact factor. Even this year, more than 500. The medical journal got, engineering journal 73 is the top impact factor. I think so. I am not remembering exactly. This is also one more example for the calculation of impact factor. Anyway, you might have understood this. I am just skipping this slide. I am going for JCR released in 2020. This is a recent journal citation report released in 2020. You can see the journal impact factor 508. This is the top impact factor journal, the clinical cancer. This journal is a medical journal. So they listed like this. This is the JCR. Just for example, I taken the first few journals. Next, I will go to the 2019. This is 2019 JCR report released in 2019. In that also same paper had the impact of 223. Now it is more than 500. Imagine how much number of publication research we are getting nowadays. Now what is Q1? In the same JCR released Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. The first page of Q1 depends upon the impact factor. The top impact factor journals are listed in Q1. The next level of impact factor journals are listed in Q2. That is starting impact factor is 8. The next one starting impact factor is 4 for Q3. Q3 journals. Next Q4 starting impact factor is 2.9. So all Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 journals are good quality journals. There is no doubt. All are science citation expanded journals. So you can publish any Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. But if you get Q1 means top ranking journals. That will give you weightage to you. The next is H index. So this is the thing with the impact factor. H index it is one of the most widely used research metric. It measures both productivity and the impact of author's scholarly output. So tools for calculating H index include Web of Science and Google Scholar. H index can be calculated for an institute, for journal, for individual, even for a country. Because a good publication will recognize the author. A good publication, even it recognize internationally a country. Suppose if country get very good journal, then a country is recognized among the world. If a university gets good publication, university is recognized in the all over the country in the research field. Next slide. Professor George E. Hirsch is the person introduced H index. He proposed the H index and defines as number of papers with the citation number greater than or equal to H as useful index characterized to scientific output of a researcher. An index to quantify the individual scientific research output. So I will see he published a paper in 2005. In 2005 only the H index gets popularized. I just read what is there in the ground. I propose index H defines as the number of papers with the citation number greater than or equal to H. It is a useful index to characterize scientific output of a researcher. So now how many number of papers have a number of citations? Suppose if 5 papers have 5 number of citations, that is the H index is 5. Anyway, we'll see elaborately. This paper is published in a Springer journal, but nowadays the H index gets very good popularity. It rates the scientific performance based on its career publications as measured by the lifetime number of citations, and it depends on both quantity and quality of a scientist's publications. And H index number of papers with citation number greater than or equal to H. What it means? If H index is 5 for a person, for example, 5 research paper of entity have been cited minimum 5 or more than 5 number of times. Each 5 paper cited by 5 papers. Right. Each 5 papers should have 5 or more than 5 citations. Then H index is 5. Example, a scientist with H index 37 has 37 papers cited at 37 times. His 37 paper he individually cited 37 times. And we will see with an example. This is the graph where the citations are equal to publications. That is H index. The point at which the citations and papers are equal. Citations may be more. It may be equal to the particular point or more than that. But paper should be H. We are seeing this is the paper. These are the publications, the citations. Now we will see H index by example. This is the list of research papers published by a person with citations. Now you are seeing. So the first paper have 8 citations. Second paper 4 citations. Third paper 6 citations. Fourth paper 7 citations. If you order, for example, if the person have H index 5, see here how many papers have more than 5. First paper have
sir, Vaddeswaram, sir.
Hello, am I not audible? Hello.
You are audible, sir.
Yes, professor, you are audible.
Okay, thank you, sir. So the first paper.
Audio off on pannu.
Shall I continue?
Yes, professor.
Thank you. The third paper have 6 publications, fourth have 7 citations, fifth paper 5 citations, seventh paper 10. So 5 papers have more than or equal to 5 citations. So H index is 5. Anyway, let me go with another example. Here it is listed, the research paper and citations are listed. See the first paper, for example, if H index is 5, the first paper have 6 citations. Okay, I'll take yes. Second paper 5, yes, that also we can count. Third paper 4, no. I am not counting. Fourth paper 50, we need only 5, right? I will tick. So fifth paper, 3 citation, no need to count. Sixth paper, 2 citation, you leave it. Seventh one, 10 publications. So sorry, 10 citations, yes, I can count. Eighth paper, 8 citation, I can count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if 5 citations have more or equal 5 number of citations. 5 or more than 5 or more citations. So that is H index is 5. So simply stated, the number of publications have n or more than n, greater than n, that for citations, that is H index. See, one more example, it's quite interesting. A research paper have only 2 papers. The 2 papers, first paper have 60 citations, second paper have 120 citations. It doesn't mean that he is having H index of 120. He is having only 2 publications, maximum. Each paper have 2 citations. So these 2 papers have 2 citations, each 2 citations. If 3 papers have each 3 citations, if 4 papers have each 4 citations, then H index 4. Now this person have 2 citations, 2 papers with 2 citations, so H index is 2. Another example is also there. So if it is an order in a ascending order, then it's easy to find out where the paper the citations are less than the paper. Then before that we can mark H index. So I think you might have get some idea about H index. Already you may have the idea. Just I discussed. There are a lot of advantages and disadvantages for H index. It allows direct comparisons with the disciplines. It measures the quantity and impact by single value. And it does not give any accurate measure of early career researchers. Past career researchers are not counted. Calculated by using only, but nowadays they are taking that also. Calculated by using only articles that are indexed in Web of Science. Because it is not counted in other things, but other Google researcher, Google Scholar also now counting for H index. So it has its own advantage and disadvantage, and it is not valued for low cited papers. That is one disadvantage. Only high cited papers are taken. Suppose if the good quality paper that did not have more citations, that will be left out. I'll go for G index. Next is G index is calculated in this way. So this is the formula to calculate. I see formula maybe with confusion. I'll go with an example again. What is G index? This G index is introduced by Leo Iggy in 2006. So that was published in a Springer paper. Okay. I think it may be visible. This is the list of publication of a researcher right from 2008 to 2015. Now, the papers are ranked according to the citations. See, the first paper is citations are 70, then second paper 12. So according to the order of citations it has done. Now, we need to go for cumulative citations. Here it is 70, next 82. So these are all the accumulation in the add up citations. Next, we need to calculate the square of the rank. Rank means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first paper, second paper, that is the rank of the paper. Because it is ranked in the as per the order of citations. So up to 10, 11 ranked. First paper 70, last paper 0 citations. Now, if you square the rank 1 into 1, 1, 2 into 2, 2, 4, 3 into 3, 9, something like that. So I will go with the 9th paper in 2013. He is having 2 publications, but 112 cumulative citations, and the 9 into 9 81, right? So 11400. 11400. That means when the cumulative citation crosses the square of the rank. That is the G index. In other way, the highest rank where the sum of the citations is larger than the square of the rank. The highest rank is 10, where the sum of the citation, the cumulative citation 114 is greater than this. Suppose if we go to the next step, this is the sum of the cumulative citations. It is less than, right? Rank, the square of the rank is 121. It is less than the square of the rank, so that we cannot consider this, cannot able to consider. So we are going for 2014 is having index 10. So 10 is the G index. So like this we can able to find G indexing, which is also used for evaluation of scientists, evaluation of researcher. So G index is nothing but highest rank where the sum of the citations is larger than the square of the rank. I will go for M index next. This can be graphically represented. Advantage and disadvantage. It accounts for performance of authors' top articles. It helps to make more apparent the difference between authors' respective impacts. So sometimes it helps to project the low cited articles also because of its way of calculations. So it is introduced in 2006. There is a big debate between which is bigger, whether G index is good, H index is good. Still debate is there. But many people are saying that G index is better than H index, but unfortunately H index gets popularized like that. But mostly H index is widely accepted all over the world. So it's a debate anyway. We'll see. Another type of index, M index. Is the same paper gave other. What is the H index? There is a formula actually. The relation is H is equal to M into N. M is the index. Suppose M is equal to H by N. H is nothing but H index. N is number of years. For example, you are a researcher. You have been working in your institute for more than 20 years. You must have H index 20. So that what is that? 20 years of service. At least each 1 year, one H index should be increased. So if you are there, you are a successful researcher or scientist. That is what M index is. So M is equal to 20 by 20. Automatically, we will get 1. How to calculate this M index? Similar procedure again. The research papers are ordered or ranked according to the citations. After that, it can be calculated. By the way, the starting year, the ending year minus starting year. Suppose 2015 is the last year, 11 paper is published. 2015 minus 2008 plus 1, that is equal to 8. H index is 5. See, if 5 number of articles have 5 or more than 5 citations, 5 or more citations, so 5 by 8. M index 5 by 8. The 5 divided by the difference in the years. 5 by 8 will give 0.63. So 0.63 is M index. If you have 1, you are the eminent or successful scientist according to M index. I'll go for another very popular index, Eigen index. It is created by Google Scholar and used in Google My Citations feature. So it has a very interesting indexing mechanism. It has advantage, very simple and straightforward to calculate. My citations, Google research is free. Everybody can access. Disadvantage is used only in Google Scholar. This Eigen index is not calculated by any other databases. So if you have first paper 1 or 2 citations, second paper 21 citations, third paper 45 citations, like citations are there. Which papers have more than 10 times cited? So 5 in this, except 1 paper remaining are more than 10 times cited. So his Eigen index is 5. Any number of papers cited more than 10 times, it is called the Eigen index. So see here, just for the sake of interest, I just taken Charles Robert Darwin. See how much it is item index of Darwin 331. Now it may be increased. This was 1 year back. I have collected this information. This index is 80 citations like that. Still the reference. What is the citations of Robert Darwin is going on. Other thing is Albert Einstein. His item index is 385. H index is 113. Is more than Darwin. So SGR, Simogo, next is SGR, Simogo journal ranking. I told you already. Two platforms are releasing ranking reports of Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. This is Simogo ranking. Another one is journal citation reports. These people are also releasing the ranking of Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So it considers 3 years of journal statistics, and self-citations are limited. It's based on Scopus data. Simogo journal ranking is owned by Elsevier. This also belongs to Scopus. See here, what are the facilities available in SGR, Simogo journal ranking, for journals, for countries. For journals, we have SGR, H-index, citations per document, all these things are available. For countries also, H-index, total, you can list out the H-index of different countries in Simogo journal ranking, total number of documents by a country, total number of citations by country. So country-wise, we will get the list. So for journals and countries, we have different types of journal metrics in this platform of Simogo journal. Ranking, it is owned by Scopus and Elsevier. Scopus is Elsevier owned. Anyway, next is Eigen Factor. Eigen Factor is nothing but it is just the same as the calculation of impact factor. The impact factor is calculated for 2 years. With the same thing calculated for 5 years, it is nothing but Eigen Factor. Due to the time consumption, I am going to close this session. Next is article influence score. They will keep it as a 1. If 1 and above, 1 and below. If it is influence score is greater than 1, it indicates that articles in journal have an above average influence, less than 1 below average influence, like that. It is a type of matrix. And advantage of Eigen Factor, there are several advantages for this. It can be accessed for free, include built-in evaluation period of 5 years. So total 5 years can be taken for assessment. Disadvantage is not much popular. Only Simogo journal ranking can be used this. It assigns journal to single category. Like that, there are several advantages, disadvantages. Anyway, each databases they are trying to sort out the issues. Next is source normalized impact factor. It was created by Professor Hank Moore, Center for Science Technology Studies, University of Leiden. This is also available in elsewhere. The SNP factor. By seeing SNP factor, we can identify whether this paper is available in Scopus or not. Suppose if you published a Scopus paper in 2010, now it might be removed. If SNP factor is 0, then you can identify that it is not there now. Like that. So this is the calculation for SNP factor. Anyway, it's a little bit complicated. So they will SNP can be calculated by the impact. That the impact of impact means citations of 2009 and citation potential, the total number of reference in a paper. That will be taken into consideration. That is called total citation potential. In 2009, how many references quoted by the paper publication? In that is as a denominator. Numerator, how many citations? So that will give the SNP, source normalized impact per paper. So I finished my session. Thank thank you very much for giving this wonderful opportunity. So I wish to thank the management of Nadar Saraswathi Engineering College, Theni. Also, I wish to thank the principal and head of the department, mechanical, for arranging this opportunity. Thank you all. Any discussions we will have for 10 minutes.
Thank you, Dr. Murali, for your excellent and informative session.
Thank you, sir.
I request participants, any queries you may ask. Questions are invited from audience. Question. Nagaraj.
So I'm audible?
Yeah.
Audible, sir. Please.
Yes, sir. Sir, today's session was very nice, sir. Actually, we learned so a lot of the things related to how what are the factors related to the international journals and.
Thank you, sir.
So today's amazing, sir. Yes, sir. So I have one doubt, sir. Actually, while selecting our research area, how to identify specific applications? Actually, I'm planning to do my research in welding. In frictions, I am selected in friction stir welding. Sir. In that, I refer almost 62 journals, 62 papers. Sir. So far, I didn't identify any specific application related to my friction stir welding topics.
Okay.
With so how to pick that specified application?
I got your query. So how to select a emerging research area?
Yes, sir.
That is depends upon the interest of the research, because everyone is not specialist in all the areas. Somehow we may have some interest on heat exchanger, or we may have electric vehicles, just like how you said welding, friction welding.
Yes.
But one more thing, we should take care of, we should not go for old kind of things. Still some people are doing some kind of physics. In physics, they are doing some old type of the, what is it, microscope, something kind of structures, all these things. It may be helpful to finish PhD, but it may not be emerging. In a similar way, I'll tell you use of gray relational analysis techniques, optimization. Instead of that, you can go for many research, emerging research areas like artificial intelligence, 3D printing, or you can collaborate with your computer science faculty or ECE faculty in automobile side or something like that. If suppose you are going for welding, the welding where it is used in emerging areas, the type of welding what you are interested, where it is useful in emerging areas, that kind of advancements you have to see. So for that you have to go for literature search. There are many websites are available like sciencedirect.com, springer.com, Taylor Francis, and John Wheely. There are many search engines. You search the welding, what the welding, which one you are interested. related to the document. In that, if you see recent development, what is happening in the particular building. So in that, if you have some idea, you can change some parameters or some kind of things. You need to read more number of articles in your area. Then automatically you will get an idea. The idea may come when you are traveling in a bus, when you are teaching, and so something kind of thing. For that, you need to read more number of articles. That will give you idea.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Your good name?
Myself, A. Karthik Raja, sir, assistant professor in Nadar Surface Engineering and Technology, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay. Oh, sir. Thank you, sir.
என்ன புரிஞ்சதுன்னு கேட்பான் பாரு இப்போ வெளியே போகும்போது அவன் அப்படியே வேணும்னா கேட்பான்டா அது இன்ஸ்டியூட் அப்படி தான் கேட்கும்
Sir, sorry, close the session. Sir, please mute. Somebody is talking some other words also. I am very better with this.
Okay.
All audience, right?
Audience side, you may ask, or otherwise we will go for vote of thanks. Okay. Now I would like to invite Mr. Nagarajan to propose vote of thanks.
Good morning to all of us. Today, Chief Guest Dr. Murali, Professor KL University, Vijayawada. At last, all the department. Audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible.
I am very happy to Madi. So our various department HODs, the various department. First of all, I would like to thanks for this wonderful occasion.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Shall I leave, sir?
Yes,
Once
sir.
again, thank you everyone for patient listening. Thank you very much for patient listening. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Murali, for your valuable spending time for us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.